I win, bitch! Whee! Oh, yay! You'll never win. P.S. You suck. Hey everyone. Welcome to the studio. It's your old pal PD Beetlejuice. Well, it's finally here. Metroid Prime 4. And
Released in 2002, the original Metroid Prime was a huge step forward for the franchise. Not just onto a new platform, but into a whole new dimension. It was a gamble. Would the previously two-dimensional Metroid formula translate well into 3D? Yes. Yes, it would. Nintendo hit the jackpot, and the original Metroid Prime was both a critical and commercial success, at least by the standards of the more niche Metroid franchise. But by Nintendo standards, Metroid Prime still lagged behind other high-selling titles like Super Smash Bros. Melee, Mario Kart Double Dash, and Super Mario Sunshine. But the Prime series clearly had an audience, with 2004's Prime 2 and 2007's Prime 3 each selling over 1 million copies. In 2009, Nintendo released Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Wii.
remember this? I do. In fact, this is the copy I bought in 2009. And what a bargain! The entire Metroid Prime trilogy in one package, with widescreen support and surprisingly intuitive motion controls added to the GameCube originals to boot? This had to be a runaway smash hit, right? Well, no, it was not.
Prime enthusiasts were hungry for something new. What they got instead was a repackaging of the first 3 games with some welcome quality of life updates. A fantastic deal for newcomers, but less tempting for people who already own the entire series. With an estimated 500,000 copies sold, the Prime series appeared to be losing commercial momentum.
And then, nothing. The traditional single-player Prime series went dormant. There would be more Metroid games, sure, but there would be no true follow-up to Metroid Prime 3 for 10 fucking years.
E3 2017. Nintendo is halfway through its spotlight presentation when it drops the bomb.
Holy shit! We're so fucking back, baby! Woo!
It was a little light on the details, but we had confirmation. Metroid Prime 4 was under development. I mean, this was a no-brainer, right? A new Metroid for a new console generation? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, a lot could go wrong, actually.
We wouldn't hear much more about Metroid Prime 4 for another 2 years. And when we did, it wasn't good news. In a surprisingly blunt video released in January 2019, senior executive Shinya Takahashi announced the game's development was not meeting Nintendo's standards. The existing work would be scrapped. Development would restart from the beginning under Retro Studios, the original trilogy's developer. What followed was a swift development and release of Metroid Prime 4 to eager fans.
Just kidding. We were just getting started.
Prime 4 disappeared once again for 5 years. Then, finally, in June 2024, the first gameplay footage of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was revealed, along with a 2025 release window, which could only mean one thing. A release date had to be around the corner, right?
No. It would be 17 more months.
Then, on December 4th, 2025, the wait was finally over.
18 years. 18 fucking years. And this is what we get. This should have been a masterpiece. I mean, if you were born the day Metroid Prime 3 released, you were old enough to enlist in the army by the time Prime 4 came out. They had all the time in the world. There was no way they could fuck it up, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? Not you. You. The audience.
They fucked it up. Metroid Prime 4 settled at a 78 on Metacritic, on par with the franchise's previous critical punching bag, Metroid Other M. And the response from fans was mixed.
How is this possible? This is Metroid Prime, for fuck's sake. Where did everything go wrong?
Okay, let's be fair here. Metroid Prime 4 is not a complete disaster. Mechanically, Prime 4 is actually quite good, but that's part of the reason why it's so bad. When I started Metroid Prime 4, my first impressions were very positive. The highly refined and customizable controls made navigating the landscape feel natural. Aiming and shooting felt smooth and precise. There was an abundance of exotic vegetation and wildlife to scan and catalog, and plenty of dangerous aliens to blast to pieces. All rendered smoothly in 4K. But the more I played, the more it became apparent. Something felt off. Something was missing.
Prime 4 just feels hollow. And for a long time, I had a hard time putting my finger on why. It got me thinking, what is it that makes a Metroid game feel like a Metroid game? To me, it comes down to three things: a large interconnected world, player-led exploration, and a strong sense of isolation.
The original Metroid launched on the North American NES in 1987. At a time when most platformers move from left to right through linear levels in a fixed order, Metroid let players move left and right and left, up and down, through one sprawling, non-linear world. That sense of navigating a large interconnected space has been a defining feature of the series ever since.
The Prime series is no different, only now the world reached out in every direction. The world wasn't just the environment you traveled through, it was part of the story itself.
Ancient ruins, abandoned technology, alien ecosystems, sweltering caverns full of liquid magma, lush greenery, and the bitter cold of ice and snow. The way these biomes brush up against one another, connected by hallways, elevators, and ventilation shafts, gives the world a sense of history and cohesion.
And Prime 4 goes and fucks it all up. Each isolated section of the map is connected to a huge, empty desert, the same way each individual arm connects to the bodies of a starfish. The world feels fragmented, like a series of random locations instead of different parts of the same world. It's both ridiculous and tedious. But it isn't just about the way the world is designed. It's about the philosophy behind how you explore that world.
In the Prime series, exploration has generally felt balanced, with the developers providing just enough guidance to point you in the right direction. The rest is up to you. Navigation is the puzzle. Along the way, you'll take wrong turns, get lost, and run into impassable roadblocks preventing you from taking the simplest and most straightforward route. And that's okay, because the Metroid franchise rewards your curiosity with upgrades, bits of lore, shortcuts, and other secrets. Each new ability unlocks more and more of the map for you to explore.
By contrast, Prime 4 constantly has someone in your ear telling you where to go and what to do, like you're being dragged around on a leash. Now, to be fair, some of these problems are understandable given the game's troubled development cycle, while others can be chalked up to poorly thought out quality of life features aimed at reducing friction. But the next fuck up, oh man, the next fuck up took some effort, some cooperation. I'm talking everyone from the janitor to the game director and every random dickhead in between. The single most important aspect of the Metroid franchise is the sense of isolation. Isolation, not emptiness. There's a difference.
Emptiness is a physical absence, like a room with no people in it. And don't get me wrong, Prime 4 feels empty. The huge open desert feels empty. Isolation is an emotional disconnection, like feeling alone in a crowded room. And that sense of isolation is completely obliterated by the rotating cast of obnoxious characters in Prime 4. Samus is a silent protagonist, a bounty hunter. She can hold her own, and she's meant to be alone, surrounded only by hostiles, which makes the inclusion of a bunch of flat, cannon fodder characters completely antithetical to everything that makes the Metroid game a Metroid game. It reduces Samus to standing around silently while other characters talk to each other, only addressing her when they have something they want her to do or somewhere they want her to go. It's bullshit.
Isolation is the core of the Metroid franchise. That sense of fear, somewhere strange, somewhere dark, somewhere hostile, alone. Not a friend in the world. Not that I would know anything about that. Metroid Prime 4 is a good bad game. Or maybe a bad good game? Metroid Prime 4 is game. Oh, for fuck. Oh, Jesus! Scared the shit out of me.